Good morning. I'd like to say a special hi to my new subscribers. It's great to have you with me. I'm going to share a little bit more this morning about my sustainable home and my journey after 3 breast cancers. Starting with this lovely frangipani tree, which I actually put in a cutting from a place that I was sharing with some other people before I managed to buy this house, in the back of my car. And now it's planted it outside my bedroom window, and now I just love seeing it each day. Anyway, it's a very wet day, so this won't be an outside one. This is an inside one. There's a cyclone up the coast from where I live, and we're getting a lot of heavy rain here, so everything's very wet. So I just thought I'd take you around a little bit of my house and explain why I'm trying to live the way I am, which is basically, I realized after the third illness that I really needed to build up my immune system, and that was to eliminate as many chemicals that I could from my lifestyle, which is not easy. We all know that. It's really hard. And after quite a difficult time, I managed to sell the apartment I had, which was in a busy complex, and find this old house. And I loved it just because it was old and everything was good about it. Hardwood. Here's a little painting I did it when I first came here. I did it with clay paint. That's on my bedroom wall. I just felt that painting with these materials was good. It was quite a hard exercise, and lots of plants this is the room I'm sleeping in at the moment in my house. Everything really simple, and even the floors, I'll show you more here. They're hardwood. That's the bottom of my house. You can go underneath and look up, and I took off all the carpets and stained them, and here we are walking along the corridor and out to my lounge. I took those windows out and put in louvers. I had the old windows that they had in these old houses. And here is the garden at the bottom, which, as you know, I've grown all the trees here. And some of those have grown from seeds. And it was an old shed there when I first came here. But also I have swaled this garden because it's on a slope. My plumber and I discussed it, and because there's a storm drain at the bottom, it's all okay to do. So we arrange for the water to run down the bank, and I've dug little channels through the garden. You can't quite see them there. So the water, runs down, and all the plants get their fair share. And that's called swaling. And that was quite fun to work it out, because I remember water always finds its lowest level. I remembered that from high school science. And this is another reason I bought this old house, apart from it being the cheapest one available I could find at that time. I didn't think I could find a house. I was very lucky to find this. The advertisement said it's just the cheapest house in the whole of Gold Coast, I think. But anyway, I got it. And here we have these lovely trees. There was a sort of, I've had to get them pruned a few times. They've got a bit wild, the ones at the back that are not on my property, but I got a tree rigger, did all right, cut them off on my side. So lots of lovely greenery and air and things, so that I just love being surrounded by that. So that's all about air quality as well. Food straight from the garden where possible, but it's not always possible. And I know buying organic food can be very expensive, but I try to do as much as I can of that. And here's my little exercise bar. I had to have surgery on my knee recently, so I'm doing a lot of strengthening work with those bands in conjunction with my very clever physiotherapist. And here's outside. Oh, onions. I've got a thing about onions at the moment. Love onions. I don't know. So I have a craving for onions at the moment. So that's the other thing I've done. Oh, there's Snappy sitting on the clothesline. He'll hear me talking and he'll come up and think, oh, it's feeding time for him. I gave them a special wet day feast this morning. So maybe he won't come. There's lots of butterflies. And there's bananas, got a thing for bananas. This lovely old wooden table I've had for a long time. So I try to keep as many natural surfaces as I can. And like everything, I try to keep metal. I try to keep as much plastic out of things. Something that's quite hard. I've walked around the supermarkets discovering everyone's got, all the kettles have plastic somewhere strategic. So in the end, with the kettles, I just got a little one that you put on the stove. It's the only one that didn't have plastic inside. And a little water filter over here, which I've had for years and shared with other people in flats when I've been in my homes. So this hedge I planted. And here's some of the moringa tree, some of the cuttings. Whenever I prune them, I put them in a jar and let them root, and then I can plant them in pots and share them with friends, because people love. That's a miracle plant that's got very good nutrients in it, the moringa or drumstick plant. I think I've shared that. I'll show more again. So this is a place I just love to sit. You can understand that. And some days I just sit and look at the trees, which is a luxury, I know. But I try to keep in a peaceful place as well in my mind, which is not always easy with the current world we live in. There's a couple of little paintings here. And we'll go through to the studio. So that's another aspect I've tried to do. I know there's probably people going through breast cancer treatment at the moment. I know it's not one journey for each person, but when I was going through it the different times, I just realized I just had to do the best thing every day to try to be strong, get stronger. It's not always easy when you're not feeling well. I know all those moods. This is a lovely orchid my sister sent me from New Zealand. I was surprised to have a little man at the door delivering something, but it's all my family are in other countries at present. My sisters all live in New Zealand. Their children are either there or around the world. So it's been a bit of a long Chrissy here. But anyway, I think it's almost getting sunny, but the ground's really soggy, so I won't go out. Lots and lots of butterflies for the birdies. I think so. Snappy ignored me this morning. And here's some more. There's Snappy in a painting. He's definitely a bird with personality. This is a little painting I did, when I was working with clay paint. That was quite one of the things I wanted to do, and I'm trying to get it so you don't get light on it. But I love this little figure, so that's kept that one. And more butterfly paintings here. So it's just a journey, and each day you have to. I'm being extremely lucky, I know, and I know but also trying to live this way, I think, has strengthened my body and made me a lot stronger than when I was living in the apartment block. I know it's hard to do all these things, but eliminating as many chemicals as possible seems to have made me a lot stronger. And I'll go into this a little bit more in future videos, because it's a complex issue. There's good chemicals, of course, as well, and medical decisions require so much discernment. I know, having been there 3 times, that there's wonderful doctors and there's also decisions you have to make yourself. and that's not always easy when you're feeling vulnerable. But just getting the big picture that little things each day can make you stronger. And so, like every day I'm waiting for this rain to go so I can go for another walk soon. But I'm not sure if it's going to, because we've got a cyclone hovering somewhere, and I believe the rain's from that. But anyway, that's just a little bit of a muddled sharing, really, on a wet day with COVID everywhere. So I'm sure a lot of other people feeling the same, but always trying to keep positive and doing things that are good. If I don't go for a walk, I'll get on the exercise bike and do, which I quite like doing. And I also exercise, I should say half an hour maybe, while I watch telly. It's like there's always something positive that you can work out, you can do. And I think sharing it with you is as good for me as it is for other people, because it'll get me going as well. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful new year, and I look forward to sharing more with you in the future. And I'd love you to subscribe if you haven't already, because I hope to say things that I hope